All right, we are back, and we've got a huge number of people. It's nuts. What do we do? Who do we go? What do we think? One thing that we need to do. Actually, let's talk to Tristian first. I don't think he's in the party yet, but maybe I can recruit him. Okay. John says it'll be fine soon. All right. Well, never mind. Let's just leave. I could talk to the companion characters, and I probably should. I just also know, like, talking to the companion characters takes, like, actually upwards of, like, half an hour. And the last time I did that, people started, like, getting really mad at me. And I don't know how to make everybody happy, obviously. But it's especially bad with, like, character dialogue and stuff. Because I notice whenever I try, it never quite works out the way I want it to. Okay, so apparently this character actually has abilities. Let's see. So Valerie actually has specific Tower Shield abilities that are really helpful. So at 3rd level, Tower Shield Specialist gains armor training as normal. But, while he employs a Tower Shield, the armor penalty is reduced by 3 and the max dexterity bonus allowed by his Tower Shield increases by 2. Okay. Is that the only thing? Because we also get armor training. Barrier against, it's a barrier against, like AoE spells. Well, either way, I've been convinced, and I think I'm gonna go with it. Let's throw the Tower Shield back on. It only boosts the armor class by 1, but I think that's fine. And I'm just gonna give her this. She'll need it if she ever has to punch anybody. Okay. I guess let's sell Oleg that other spare heavy shield. And probably... yeah, we'll sell the chain shirt, +1. I don't think anybody in the party is actually going to need it. Okay, next up. She's yes, so she can actually use the headband of Vast Intellect. Not maybe immediately, but that's okay. Okay, so Burst Barrier also needs the Tower Shield. Really? It just said shield, but I'll believe you. Oh yeah, while employing a Tower Shield. Alright, well, either way. Now she can actually work it. The problem is at level 1 and 2, her 2-hit was so bad, it wasn't worth keeping around. You know, she had barely a +1 to hit, if even. Now she actually can reasonably hit some things, so it's not like this huge risk, like it once was. So yeah, let me know when you guys think I should probably talk to characters, if I should talk to characters at all, or if we should just kind of run around as the mad, uncaring king. Either that, or I could always do a lot of the character dialogue stuff, just totally off-stream. Because the last time I did it was, like, with Lindsay, and I think it took up, like, half an episode. That was a bit much. Okay, so I don't think we need any of this stuff, so let's just leave. And now that we have multiple characters, potentially with multiple AoEs, maybe we go fight those spider swarms. It's been a long time coming, and I think they need to be gotten rid of, destroyed. Who knows? Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, or you should. So that's over in the Fangberry Cave. Somebody was mad because I hadn't done it yet. I'm like, I'm sorry. The reason why I'm not doing the Fangberry Cave is because it's hard. Swarms are not okay in Dungeons and Dragons. They're brutal little suckers, and they will kill you if you're not properly prepared for them. The only way to change your portrait is to reset your character, or using a save editor. Okay, I'll have to take a look at it. Hello, bandits. Oh, it's these guys. Okay, I'm gonna have a Miri come back. I bet there's a ambush group back over this direction. No? Last couple times I've run into groups like this, they always have a couple of, like, you know, backdoor fighters that come after you. Ooh, composites. Wait, was that literally it? Just a couple of ranged enemies and... Wow. They were not prepared for that. They tried. Okay. So what is over here? It actually looks like it largely just loops into Fangberry Cave. Alright. Let's see. Now, last time I did this was before they nerfed it. I'm actually not entirely sure how much they nerfed it, if they even nerfed the swarms at all, if the swarms... Okay, so it's going to tell me about swarm rules. Okay. Or, wait. Or spells that require an attack roll. So I can hit them with Acid Splash. That's good. Let's actually take a look at her. And set that to autocast too, so she'll use it instead. Just in case. And this time, I don't think those swarms will hit me nearly as easily. Because last time, they mobbed me and killed everyone. And it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pretty. Okay. So these guys are pretty much just going to have to go after that. You two need to go after those swarms. Oh. Yeah, so we just have a surprise spider swarm that just reduces your strength. Alright, that sucks. I think it'll go away when we rest. I know there's other ways to get rid of it, but... Ugh. Oh, Wander doesn't want to launch a fireball in a small space? I don't actually have fireball yet. I totally would use it if I'd picked it up, but we don't get fireball for at least one more level. Ooh. I mean, luckily that's both of my non-strength using characters, so I can probably just do without for a little while. Because yeah, what's the strength down to? 7 and 5. Ugh. But yeah, except for encumbrance, we pretty much don't actually have to worry about anything there. Anything interesting? Eh, it's stuff. Cleave works on swarms too. Really? Really? Huh. Okay, sure. I had no idea. That's a weird one. Oh, there is some loot here. What? Oh, just a random dead bandit. Oh, random dead bandit actually has some stuff. Pocket mirror, potion of cure wounds. Can we just use the map? Nope, we have to gather the party before venturing forth. And of course, the slow gnome went off to grab this. I really hope there's boots of striding and springing or stuff like that in this game. Then again, I'm not entirely sure if that would be really worth the boot slot. I could do it, but yeah, I don't think it would be worth the boot slot, because effectively I'd be sacrificing something that I could... Well, what else would I get? Because usually boots-wise, I go for like boots of spider climbing or something. Those are fun. What do we have over here? Two Rivers Field. How do I even get there? Path to that destination is unknown. Okay. Huh. You think you could just kind of... Well, I guess it would probably be slow. You'd think you could just cut straight across, but I guess not. Hello, weird. Thylacines are weird. They're like kind of garbage tigers. I don't even know how to describe them. I've seen them in a couple of games now, and you always think they're going to be like dangerous, and then they're just kind of weak. I want to remember the berries spoil quick. Okay. We'll go back up.
I need to catch my breath.
That's how we get to it. I don't think the berries spoil that quick. They might? Okay, so what is up with this area? And the answer is no, it's one of those where you have to find this random non-POI to travel up to the two rivers field. I don't actually even know if there's anything useful here. There's a wolf that looks to have been gutted. Did they actually... Wait, is that supposed to be entrails, or is that a chain? No, that's a chain, because there's a stake there. Huh. Okay, this wasn't what I was expecting. Now, who's better at trickery right now? Not Lindsay. Oh, because she's fatigued. Already?
I've broken a nail.
I was not expecting that already, but that's okay. Let's see. What chapter am I on? I am still on chapter 1. I have cleared the fog, but we have not confronted or defeated the stag lord. Ideally, that's what we'll be doing tonight, but it varies a little bit based on you know, how long it takes and how much I get mired in other things. Because I do get a little bit distracted running around in these games. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. But yeah, I guess we'll go straight back to the inn. Seriously, we've been on much longer trips than this before getting fatigued. But I guess this is a way that I can get rid of the, This is a decent way for me to get rid of that poison damage. I'm a big fan of the spell sneak attacks. I'm gonna have to use that a lot in the future. Yeah, side quests or main plot. Well, the main reason why I haven't been rushing it is it gives me... I have 72 days. Like, we have so much time before anything needs to happen. It hasn't been a priority for me. And so, yeah, I have been focused on side quests. Because part of it is, like, with D&D type games, level matters. Like, you know, a level or two in a JRPG doesn't generally matter that much. But, like, in CRPGs, especially, like, D&D related ones, it is, like, the difference between, like, level 4 and 5, for example, is massive. I guess I'll take this upper section.
We should gather our strength.
Everyone is fatigued. I'll just fight him. I explored absolutely everything I could and finished with 3 days left. Oof. I don't think I'm gonna get to that level. But, I'm definitely going to focus on any major side content I possibly can. Oh, look! It's mites. They're adorable. I know I'm not supposed to allow Amiri to charge in first, but she's mostly getting the work done. Anything else? No, doesn't look like it. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's see, there's an EXP multiplier in the cheat table. Yeah, I don't think I'll rely on that unless I absolutely have to. We've already cranked down the difficulty considerably, so I don't think we need to worry too much about... I don't think we need to worry too much about, like, hacking things. If I was still having trouble, then I would consider an EXP multiplier or something like that. But yeah, so level 5 before this Stag Lord. is possible. Level 6 is not. Alright, well that makes it easy. Yeah, so if I can hit level 5, that'd be great. I think that gives me access to Fireball. If it doesn't give me access to Fireball, that's fine. I mean, I'll probably be perfectly... like, perfectly acceptable in combat regardless. A little bit to sell. Not too much. What about a 1.25 times multiplier? I mean, it'd be nice, but I just... Eh. There's a certain point where it's, excessive. Oh, right, we have Svetlana's wedding band. We should talk to Svetlana. We should also talk to Boken. Okay, give the fangberries. Are these the fangberries you are looking for? Boken impatiently grabs the basket from you, but his face falls after he examines the berries. Damn it all, these are the right berries, but they've soured. You'd be so kind as to gather some fresh ones for an old man. Alright, you're... They really do... Alright.
Time becomes distance.
They really do sour quick. Okay, so let's just go grab them. I know we're fatigued, but it'll be a quick grab. I was not expecting that they would sour that fast. I was just like, well, as long as I don't camp, it should be fine. But no, it is strict. Alright, whatever. A little bit of lost time. Yeah, no living up to your name when delivering fangberries. Apparently so. Apparently so. Oh well. I mean, it's a very quick trip. But no, I don't know. I consider stuff like EXP multipliers sometimes in games, but that's like really only ever if the game is like painful or like really grindy, I guess would be the thing. You know, you can just click the location you want to go. You know, I didn't know that. I guess I probably should have tried. I do kind of enjoy the alternate version. Oof. This rain is crushing. Transplant the bush. Yeah, that would be nice. Just plant some seeds, grow it himself. Come on. Just go in the cave. It doesn't even have to be the full party. Okay, so now we've got the fangberries. This just seems kind of unnecessary. Like, it'd be kind of nice if there was just a button that you could press and it's like, well, I've already been to the cave. Just spend X hours, go back to the cave, and then return. And it just takes it off of your total time instead. But no, stuff like EXP multipliers and stuff, I'm saying stuff a bunch, but, that, for me, is so much more important in a game that's inherently grindy, without it being fun. This game, for example, isn't grindy. Or it kind of can be, but it's mainly just like, ugh, this is awful. It's like, leveling is slow, but it's not like Disgaea grindy, where you're just fighting the same enemies over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because, like, that's not interesting to me after a while. Whereas, like this, running around adventuring, finding new interesting things to explore, that actually works really well for me. Because there's a reason, there's something new generally to keep you going. You don't go back to the same location over and over. So I've been recording Dragon Quest XI recently, and it's a fun game. It's trying to avoid. Didn't sneak past. Oh well. See, chaotic evil, and he's fetching fangberries for a man. I'm chaotic neutral, not chaotic evil. I don't like the chaotic evil alignment at all. Like, baseline, no matter what my character would be, I will probably never play Chaotic Evil, because I've played D&D with people that are Chaotic Evil, and it is the most uninteresting thing ever. I've seen it work well with people. Oh. Yep. They came from behind. But yeah, I've seen what happens when people play Chaotic Evil, and it's almost always their character is a murderous jerk, and that's the only important thing to know about them. I usually roll Chaotic Neutral if I'm playing like a quote-unquote quirky character, or Chaotic Good. I've done Lawful Good a couple of times. I've done like a couple of neutrals. Neutral just feels kind of wishy-washy. But yeah, Chaotic Evil, just like Murder Hobos. Yeah, it really feels like if you're just gonna be running around killing everything, that's Chaotic Evil. And like for me, I don't know. We had a Chaotic Evil party member once who his entire goal was to try and kill every single party member as they slept. And he didn't have a plan. He didn't have a reason to do it. He just wanted to pick off the party. And he did. He killed several party members, and the DM, to his credit, actually roleplayed it that the party members were getting dragged off in the middle of the night. And we were looking for an NPC. And so eventually I just had my character roll one hell of a bluff check and pretend to be sleeping for the entire night, and I spotted the other guy. And he was mad because he finally got caught, and me and the remaining party members, I think 3 people had already been killed and re-rolled. And so like they baseline just said like, well, our characters are going to join in, and the murderer of course was offended because, you know, that's out of character knowledge. I'm like, you're trying to garrote the party cleric. I think at this point, anybody that saw that would jump on you immediately. It doesn't matter what your reasoning is. I think he'd like tried to lie his way out of it by saying like, you know, he was trying to murder me, and this is, you know, I just turned it on him or whatever. But it was, I don't know. He was mad. Didn't play D&D with us again, and I'm kind of okay with that. He was useless in a dungeon, and he was even more useless in a fight. So we want to talk to Svetlana. I forgot about the ring. I found your ring, Svetlana. Kressel, the bandit woman who had it, tried to kill me and died in the fight. Svetlana sighs bitterly. I suppose I should tell you the truth about her. Kressel wasn't her real name. Her real name was Irina. Before all this, she was the daughter of my mother and her second husband, my half-sister. I can't help but feel like everything that happened to her was my fault. She always had a wildness to her. She'd wander the streets, hanging out with a bad crowd, until the day she passed. Mother complained about Irina constantly. Back then, it was just cruel games and strange escapades. She never really hurt anyone back in Restov. Her father didn't live much longer than her mother, so I decided to try and help Irina. I brought her here, to the Stolen Lands, though Oleg was against it. And once here, she immediately fell under the Stag Laird's influence. She never even needed to meet him. The stories and rumors from local hunters and bandits were enough to win her over. She would tell us how he was a real leader, unlike Restov's softies. Eventually, she ran away, only to return under a new name with a pack of thugs to collect taxes from us. What's worse, she participated in the torture and execution of prisoners alongside the Stag Lord's minions. And now, meeting such an end, I realize you did what you had to. Perhaps it's all for the best, but still, I wonder if everything could have turned out differently. Svetlana lifts her head. Thank you for returning my ring to me. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a little while. Well. Oh, right, the berries. Oh no, the berries! There we go, got it. Okay, we're good. After a quick glance at the basket, Boken grabs a fistful of berries and shoves them into his mouth. A smile of delight brightens his face. Ah, fangberries, so fresh. You've been good to an old man, thank you. Here, take these potions. If you need more, feel free to return. I'll even give you a discount. Let's see, would you buy more if I would you buy more fangberries and moon radishes if I brought them? A sly smile spreads on Boken's face, a glint in his eye. Sorry, my friend, but After you took a walk through the cave, there's nary a spider left, so now it's safe enough for me to gather the berries myself, rather than pay someone else anytime I need to cook dinner or make a potion. And that bucket of moon radishes will be plenty for me. For me to help Oleg for a long time to come, I mean. What do you need these fangberries for? Oh boy. Truth be told, as I've gotten older, I've gotten kind of particular, and my appetite is almost gone. Everything I eat is practically tasteless to me now. I can barely force myself to swallow a bite. Only thing I still taste is fangberries, so I add them to my porridge, over roasted meat. I even add them to my potions. And when I ran out of fangberries, I stopped eating entirely. Svetlana tried to help me, the dear. She baked pies for me, cooked me fish soup, and stewed venison, but I just couldn't eat any of it. I was desperate. Those damn spiders had sucked every last bit of joy out of my life. Not for you, I'd pretty much have starved to death. Miserable to the end. What about the moon radishes? Boken blushes heavily and coughs into his fist. That's for Oleg. He spread his back last summer, you see. Okay. Anyway, let's get out of here. He just wants to get way, way high. Alright. So we're done with those two quests. All we have to do is find the Temple of the Elk. Well, that'll be easy. Let's see. Let's save. I'm just gonna make kind of routine saves here and there just in case I need to go back for anything. In case I lose anything too. Let's see. So, I kind of missed the comment earlier. Let's roll up to it. It's nice to see a return to the Baldur's Gate Temple of Elementally Evil style of RPGs for tabletop systems turned into video games. Yeah. I'm actually really happy that, that CRPGs are back in force lately. There were a number in the mid-2000s, and some of them were good, and most of them were kind of eh. Temple of Elemental Evil was good. Icewind Dale 2 was pretty good. What else was there? Oak That Strayed. What else were there that were amazing? Not many. They tried to bring back, oh shoot, what was it? No, I forget the name of it. They tried to bring back a couple. And I know there was the,
Repent!
Let us strike as one!
Yeah, don't forget Neverwinter Nights. I had trouble with Neverwinter Nights. He just color sprayed his his entire team. Whereas Harim has one hell of a will save comparatively. Let's see. Are we good? We're good. But yeah, they've had a couple. Icewind Dale 2 is a remaster. Well, there was Icewind Dale 2, but then they also remastered the Icewind Dale games. If that's what you mean. Doesn't look like any of this is masterwork or worth looting, save for the scroll. I'm gonna just have a lot of scrolls by the end of this, aren't I? Any thoughts on Arcanum of Steamwork and Magic? I actually never played Arcanum. That was, if I remember right, that game was rated mature, and at the time, my parents were like, no, you know, no mature games, no teen games. You know, we gotta make sure that you play, like, quote-unquote, not good games, but whatever. And so, like, we had to do quite a lot to convince my parents to even let us buy teen games when we were, like, 11 and 12 and stuff like that. Oh, the recent release of Icewind Dale 2 was a remaster. That's what I meant. Oh, no. I'm just talking about, like, good games that kind of came out in the mid-2000s, because I'm fairly certain Icewind Dale 2 was, like, a 2004 game. I could be wrong. An Insane Dryad. Alright. Remember Baldur's Gate 1 as a kid. Ooh, Spike Stones. Ooh, Spike Stones is bad. Good thing we got in there. Spike Stones is brutal. And now we wait for that to go away. How long does it last? 2002, not 2004. Okay. Okay. There it goes. Of course, now everybody has feet injuries. Whatever. It lasts for a while. Spike Stones is a nuts spell. It's real strong. I want to get a druid for my party so we can actually have some of those like cool tactical skills. I'll probably switch out a Miri for a druid, maybe? Maybe not, I don't know. I like having kind of like a melee hybrid druid. Kind of like what we have Harem for. But, you know, stuff like Spike Stones and whatnot in the off chance? No, I don't know. Just to catch enemies, like, running at me, for example. Because I don't know if the AI is sophisticated enough to avoid stuff like that. I remember using and abusing Firewall, for example, and doing some horrid things with that along the way. But yeah, with the death of Black Isle, because Black Isle kind of got wrapped up into BioWare, but not well. They like kind of did, but obviously at that point it was an EA team, or I think it got wrapped up into BioWare, and then BioWare got bought out by EA, and that was kind of the death of it. And admittedly, like Mass Effect and stuff was real good, and I'm glad it got made. But when Black Isle closed, it did kind of spell the death of good CRPGs. Careful with those AoEs, since it still affects allies too. Yep. I'm aware. But I don't know. I was quite sad to hear that their studio got shut down. Shut down? Whatever kind of sort of happened to it. I just remember looking into Black Isle and being like, oh man, I wonder what else they're working on. And it was kind of like the transitionary phase between the two studios. And it was like, no. Because I was sad.
I need to catch my breath.
I have the same problem actually with Westwood. I hope at some point we get a proper like renaissance of RTS games. I don't know when that's going to be, and I don't know how it's going to go, but I really hope we get kind of a CRPG style renaissance of Kelgriths. Why don't you handle this since everybody else is currently... Okay, there we go. You know, because we've got all these, like, new studios making really, really good CRPGs. We don't have a whole lot of, like, new studios making amazing RTSs like we used to. I miss Command and Conquer when it was, like, a good series. I miss Red Alert when it was in its heyday. I was not a fan of Red Alert 3. I kind of was. Emperor Battle for Dune is one of your favorite RTSs. It had a fantastic campaign. If they ever made, like, an HD remaster of that game, I'd be very happy. Because I remember, like, the weird branching missions and the FMV cutscenes. They had some pretty good actors for that, too. Like, if I remember right, they had the actor for Gimli. Was, like... He was, like, the Harkonnen advisor. Yeah, we should rest. I heard Larian got the rights to Baldur's Gate 3. Don't know if it's true, though. No, it's a, That was not correct. I've heard rumors as well of a Baldur's Gate 3 being made, but I don't know what the, I don't know what the exact... Do we know where the... Actually, oh, hello. Having reached the edge of the milky white blanket, we stopped. I've never seen a denser, thicker fog in all my life. Stretching my hand forward, I could hardly see the outline of my fingers, and if my arms were as long as my companions, I don't think I'd even see my elbows. We exchanged hesitant looks. It would be impossible to find one's way through this haze. Detect magic. One of us used magic to analyze the fog. We exchanged... Okay, it was clear the gloom was of unnatural origin. But who or what could have spawned such a thing? Yeah, so I think we have to turn around. I don't think we actually want to go in there yet. Oh, there's the Temple of the Elk. We actually know where it is. Or, no.
I need to catch my breath.
We've already done the Temple of the Elk. We're looking for... What am I looking
That
for?
would be nice.
What
Don't you think?
am I doing? Oh, Jod. I already went there. Okay. Maybe, yeah, we're looking for the stronghold, but maybe I need to talk to Jod first. Yeah, poor Command & Conquer is now a mobile game. Sadness is this. Yeah, and it's a mobile game they have very little confidence in. They just turned it into a crappy cash grab.
Tear them apart!
Repent!
Like, they didn't even make it into a good mobile game. They just made it into garbage. I'm actually quite mad about that one. Because, yeah, Red Alert 1 and 2 were such a huge facet of my childhood. Then throw in Yuri's Revenge and all sorts of that stuff. Ah. Yeah, hopefully Obsidian gets the rights to it. Oh, dude, Obsidian has hit an interesting stride with their CRPGs, where they're quite good, but I don't think they quite have the... Do I want to say the name recognition? Can I move this around? So we've been to the Pine Patch. Yeah, I guess we're just looking for the stronghold. Oh, Staglord's Fort. It's all the way down there, so we actually know where it is. Huh. There's actually a huge amount of stuff that you can explore out here. Well, let's head for the Staglord's Fort, regardless. What is so heavy? Glade in the wilderness. And we should probably also rest as well. Red Alert was my first RTS. Red Alert was my first actual full game. You know, before that it was Dig Dug. Hi! Okay, cannot save during combat. This is good. This is good. Okay, well, we're gonna be resting soon, so we should probably actually inspire confidence? Probably. Or competence. No, that's skill bonuses. Confidence is savings throws, attack and weapon damage rolls. Okay. And unfortunately, she's exhausted, so we can't rage even if we wanted to. Well, what kind of crazy spells do we have? Bone Shaker! I actually haven't used this yet. Never mind, it's already dead. Well, I was assuming a Hydra would be a little bit more dangerous, but I guess I was quite incorrect. Alright, well, camping time.
You constantly talk about the end of times, that we'll all die. Don't you ever just want to have some fun?
I have fun when I watch your futile attempts to avoid the inevitable. It's truly funny.
Reem is just kind of grim.